Okay, that should change it right there. I was doing something with that. I just didn't even notice till just now. I was doing something with that earlier in the week. It should be back on here momentarily.
Yeah, Dennis, I know him. He lives just about 2 streets away from me. His call is KI4 FCV, I believe.
I think that's a different. Oh no, that's a different. We got 2. No, just one Dennis Wage in there.
Oh yeah, no, his last name's not Wage. Never mind.
Well, Dennis, I appreciate the heads up on that. You were the first, I think, to notice it. I have a hard time watching the chat here. I'm just so busy, juggling things, as you know. Hope you're doing well, Dennis. Well, he'll jump in there. Let me know if he jumps something in there, because I'm. Okay, there we go. Hey, Paul. Yeah, very good, Dennis. Yeah, we miss you here. I hope you're having a good time up there in the really frigid north. Where you are is just a little bit worse than here. One of the guys here in town, Wes, I think you know who he was, KI4, I forgot his call. Anyway, Wes over in the Possum Town, he was saying that he's pretty sure now he can't live up north because this freeze is really putting a hurting on him. But anyway, I think you'll appreciate that. Anyway, let's see, where was I? Oh, yeah, we finished up with Echo, KR4, IDJ. You all finished? Do you have anything else to share there? Did you go out and help anybody pull all the limbs out of the yard there, Echo?
Nah, mate, I'm good. I've got a second handheld here, and you may hear a little bit of an echo. But, yeah, I'm doing very fine. I'm doing very well. I've got my cat here. She's got nothing to say. Well, K4PEW, this is KR4IDJ, 7-3.
Very good. This Echo. He's here in Mount Juliet, at least with a Mount Juliet address, KR4IDJ, just a few miles from me. Who else is south? All right, I had 2 in there. I had Larry and I had Jim. Larry, go first, please. You doing all right? You sound really good tonight on all the bands.
We're doing good, so we'll let you get on with it, man. KE4SYV.
Okay, very good. That's KE4SYV, and he's in Rockville. He does the the D-Star Net on Saturday nights at 7:15, 146-460 if anybody's listening. And I heard Jimmy in there. Everything all right with you, Jim?
Oh, yeah, everything's fine. Just checking in. I've been real busy this week. Ain't had a lot of time for the radio because traveling back and forth to work. Other than that, that's really all I got. And let's enjoy the cold.
Oh, yeah. Well, you did you have any particular struggles on your routes this week?
There's a couple pages, but I won't get into all that. It's just, just being behind and trying to catch up is a struggle.
Oh, that's what I mean. You must have really been. You would have been like any of the big services like that, especially having to deal with all the roadways. I can't imagine.
It was a lot of fun. It's lots of fun. We could fill up a whole segment of how fun it was. But we won't get into that right now, Paul. I'll let you get on with it. But thanks for picking me up, sir. Doing a good job. KE4TYJ.
Hey, I know that the vehicle you drive is probably big enough to put. I've seen those plows that they put on the front end of those Abrams tanks. I just wonder if it would fit well in your vehicle.
I don't know. It could. New York City does use trash collection vehicles to plow the streets.
No, I don't think they want you doing that though. You're going to stay in your lane on that kind of stuff. Very good. That's Jimmy. He's in Woodbury, and that's KE4TYJ. I wrote it down wrong. TYJ. Yeah, you did get that right, didn't I? Yeah, KE4TYJ.
Yes, TYJ. Tango, Yankee, Juliet.
Yep, got it. Well, I get jumbled up when I write things in the wrong places, and my handwriting goes too fast. Who else is south? How about east?
KM4YRF. And Dennis said it's negative 21.
Oh, boy. Wow, that's... I'm not even asking what the wind chill is, but the wind chill isn't anything if you're in your house.
I don't know, but my sister over in West Nashville, they got their power back on yesterday, and it's taken until today to get everything warmed up in the house.
Oh, I believe it. I believe it. It takes a while. You figure that's the interesting thing, and I know you're familiar with it since you're with your HVAC background. But it's one thing to cool a facility, a house, for instance, from 90, let's just say, from ambient temperatures down to 72. It's another thing to take it from 12 up to 72.
I think he said that when they got home, it was like 36 degrees inside the house, and it took all day yesterday and last night to get it up to like 68.
I believe it. I really do. Boy, there's no good way out of that unless you have a fireplace. Anyway, anything else on that, Mike?
That's all I got, Paul.
Yeah, which I expect. It's funny. I think everybody just holed up in their homes, getting on the net. We had a big night on digital, and I hope we don't have a huge net, but it's good. Anything's good. Anyway, that was Mike here in Mount Juliet. KM for YRF. Who else is east?
Kilo Oscar 4, Sierra Whiskey.
Hello, Blair. You couldn't stand to get out there this morning in that 15-degree weather to go to the breakfast?
Well, my problem with that this morning was I had to take my butt to the airport at 4:30 to drop my wife off, and I came back home, and I went back to sleep.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. It was pretty slim pickings for people over there at the. There was a lot of hams there. We had about 9 or 10 there, but the place when we got there was pretty empty.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are just staying put till this stuff's gone.
Yeah, that's well, I guess it's all right. I mean, nobody's going to be out there playing tennis, you know.
No, I've just been hiding in my house all week. Fortunately, I'm like you guys. I didn't lose power or anything, so it's been okay.
Yeah, I'm with you. Although it was quite a workout between me and my wife, my June and I. Like I said, dragging limbs from the backyard and cutting up the limbs. I used both. I have a really neat saw. It's called a Fat Max. It's a hand saw. You know, you buy it at Lowe's. It's made by Stanley, and it's just fast to use that Fat Max because it's one of those rough cut saws. And man, does it whip through limbs? I don't care if they're green, whipped right through them. Rather than hanging, heaving that chainsaw around on smaller limbs, I just use the Fat Max. Anyway, anything else for the net?
No, but I did send you an email. I was mentioning that meteorological dome effect on Nashville. I sent you the email with a link to it if you want to take a look at that.
Oh yeah, I did see it, but been kind of busy. Matter of fact, I still was astounded, and it is astounding. I know there's a reason for it, and I don't completely understand it. But when I go outside and it's below zero, substantially below zero, like it did, I don't know, Saturday or Sunday, whatever day that was, and it's misting, and it's below zero, and the mist it's like a super cooled fluid, and it hasn't frozen yet, which is kind of neat.
Yeah, is that the freezing fog that they talk about?
I guess it is. The other thing I forgot to tell you guys that I think it was Saturday night. I'm not sure. It was Saturday or Sunday when the temperature dropped again, and June and I were sitting in the house, and all of a sudden, I swear something hit the roof. That's what it felt like. So it just a boom. Hit the roof. And I went, what the? So I went outside, looked around, nothing, no limbs, no nothing. Went out front, no limbs, no nothing. And then it happened. I don't remember it happened twice right then. So I went out the front yard and I'm looking at the roof. And my neighbor across the street is looking at his roof and looking around, going on. And there was another neighbor walking around. And they heard it too. And they said, I thought something hit the roof or something. We didn't know what it was. I said, well, I guess it's possible it was a sonic boom, but I didn't hear any traffic going over. Turns out, my wife looked it up. It's what they call a frost quake. When you have rapid temperature changes, there's actually it's an expansion or a contraction up in the upper atmosphere, and it creates a boom, just like a blast.
Well, that kind of makes sense. I mean, anything's possible when it gets that cold.
Yeah, it's really a frost quake. Look it up. I didn't even look it up. I let my wife did the heavy lifting for me on that one, but because I was like, I have no idea what it. I don't know. I'd been around several years and I never heard of that before, so I thought it was interesting. Anyway, that was Blair. Kilo Go for Sierra Whiskey here in Mount Juliet. Who else is east? Nobody else east? Okay, over to the north.
KE4TWA.
Very good. How you doing, Wes? You survived the day inside?
Yep. I also heard the frost quakes. My neighbor texted me and said, "Did you hear that?" And I went outside just like you did. Then I texted Bill, KK4VV, I think it's called. KK4. Anyway, he thought somebody was shooting. And one of us looked up and saw that it was a frost quake, but it did feel like something smacked the roof. Other than the frost quake, I have no issues other than it being too cold. So maybe I'm built for lower latitudes.
Yeah, I'm with you. No, I had never heard of that before, and it was fascinating, though, that everybody's was like, what the heck? Ooh, I don't know what happened. It was just weird. In fact, it even occurred to us that it could have been an earthquake, but I don't know how that could be, because you would have felt a house shake, but the earth, but not. I've never been in one of those either. So, but the frost quake was a new one on me after all these years.
Well, it stands to reason the water table was soaked. So there was running water in my yard. I guess super cool. And the temperature plummeted to, single digits. Something's got to give. All right, back to the net. KE4TWI.
Yeah, very good. Maybe, what's going to happen is Dairy Queen's going to come out with a new dairy dessert called Frost Quake. That's what it is. They got the concrete one. They can have a quake one. Who else is east? East. By the way, that was KE4TWI. Actually, north. What am I saying? I'm up at north.
KD4 Jillian.
Hey, how's it holding out on your job with that? Anybody going out on the vehicle?
Oh yeah, we run all Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
Well, you take them to the heating center. What the heck do they go out for?
Well, Wednesday was grocery shopping, and then Thursday was doctors, and Friday most of them went to the grocery store again.
And what's it? What the casinos on Monday?
No.
But everything went okay, smoothly in spite of the cold weather.
Oh yeah, everything's going good.
I think your biggest problem with the people you're dealing with is the ambulatory stuff with ice and slick areas.
Right, and no traffic lights.
Oh, you had a lot of those problems up there, did you?
Oh yeah, West End or Harding, whatever you want to call it, light was out there, and the one at the Publix, and the one at the hospital.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. I knew there was some of those, but since in Mount Juliet I didn't have any of those problems, so we had it very fortunate.
Yeah, well, I don't know. It was weird. It's that way all day.
I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. Well, it does make sense. I mean, obviously you get more problems in a more congested area like Nashville. I mean, Mount Juliet isn't exactly the center of population here.
Yeah. Oh well.
Very good. Anything else for the net, Danny?
No, I'll catch you on the next one.
Very good. That's Danny. He's in Station Camp, Kilo Delta 4 Golf Oscar November. Who else is north?
Contender from Bill.
Okay, Greg, you got knocked down into the dirt with Mark's big, monstrous commercial signal there. How you doing, Mark?
Doing well. Not exactly a commercial signal. But surviving over here, trying to stay warm. The heat pump is having the time of it, but and the auxiliary, I don't think it's big enough, but we're surviving it. My kids, one of them got power, the other one has had to move out of her house for a while.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I don't know. I've not dealt with heat pumps in this area since I haven't been in the business in HVAC but in anywhere but Florida. But yeah, it's hard to size. The heat pump it really is not much good. The lower the temperature goes, the worse it performs, and then obviously the auxiliary kicks in, and you hope it's big enough, but it also chews up the power, something fierce.
Oh yeah. I figure Middle Tennessee Electric is going to be happy to see me next month.
Well, they're going to need the money because they've got a couple 100,000 customers that ain't paying any bills last week.
Yep. Well, it'll make up for it. Anyway, I don't have anything else to the net. Sitting here listening, so carry on. WB0NO.
Yeah, very good. That's Mark, and it is It is commercial-like sound. How's that? Commercial-like. That's Whiskey Bravo Zero, November Oscar Oscar Mark, up near the very cold beach on the Cumberland. Greg, it's up.
How's it going? We're 16.3 degrees here.
Yeah, I've got. Well, I can't see the number right here, but I think it's 18 here. But it's interesting that there's 2 degrees difference between me and you, and we're only about 7 miles apart.
Yeah, it's dropped 0.7 degrees just since the net started. So anyway, I'm out here test driving a small propane heater we got. Seems to work. Must be good for about 200 square feet.
Oh, just a little teeny one, huh?
I mean, 400 square feet, 20 by 20, somewhere between that and 500.
Oh, that's not bad. I've never thought about it since I haven't had to encounter this before. Well, I have in Florida when it got really cold. But you could even use a Coleman stove because it's just it's a clean burning stove.
Yeah, in fact, half the ones you buy, particularly the propane, the kerosene ones, are heaters as well as a little cook stove top.
Okay, I didn't know that. Yeah, I have used one of. No, I don't think I've ever used the propane ones. I've used one of their propane lanterns, but not the. We had one of the old, 2 or 3 burner Coleman stoves for camping, and those are great. Other than having to pump the thing up every once in a while.
Yep, well, they should work. Well, we got our $900 tree removal estimate today.
Oh, you actually did get an estimate today. Good. I'll have to call the guy this next week and see what we can do about that tree. Was it something really severe with what you got going on?
Oh yeah, these are monster limbs, and there's one that's still stuck up and that's broken loose and is hanging up in the branches precariously. So they're going to drag that thing down, as well as kind of reshape that big magnolia that took a major beating.
Right. Well, those widowmakers are waiting just for you.
Yeah, that's why I'm letting the pros do it. I'm not even gonna participate.
No, I wouldn't. No, I can't actually. I wouldn't know how to get something up that far because the ones I have, there's 3 of them up there that are stuck up in that maple, and I wouldn't even attempt to get those down.
Well, it's really funny. This huge, the monster 400 minimum pound branch that missed me by 60 seconds. The jagged end coming at me. The way this thing fell, and it even took down my 10-meter antenna, which I've leaned back up and it's working good. And none of it, the physics don't make any sense. And I come out here each day and look at this and try to figure out, it did some sort of a double gainer and a twist coming down and missed everything, didn't hit anything, and it just doesn't make sense. And the tree guy came by today doing that, and he goes, first thing he did, he looked at it and go, well, how did it fall like that?
Too bad you don't have a camera out there all the time. That'd be cool.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make sense.
I don't know. It is funny that, well, who knows? Anything else for the net?
No, see you on next KD4 TV.
Yeah, I'm glad you survived. That would be rough to be killed by a tree limb. Whew. That was Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor Echo in Hendersonville, and that's Greg. Who else is north?
KQ4 OMI.
It's good to see you at breakfast this morning, Daniel.
Yeah, good to be there. Missed the last one, but we made up for it today.
Yeah, we had a big crowd, didn't we?
Yeah, a couple of double tables.
Yeah, it was a regular conflagration.
Is that what you call that?
I don't know. I don't know. When hams get together, I don't know what to call it.
Conflagrations, that's got to be the word.
Congregation or conflagration?
Conflagrations.
Yeah, we were on fire. Anything going good with you?
Nah, just sitting here enjoying the evening, and forgot about the net earlier, but I guess I was just enjoying the evening.
Yeah, well, it is a good evening when if you don't have to go outside.
Yeah, there is that. I just looked it up, and they're not going to be into my zip code. If I didn't have power, they're not going to be into my zip code until the 8th. Hey, that's, oh my gosh.
I'd be out there stringing cables.
I got a really good generator, but it's a portable one, but it's a big one, and it'll do it. It's just that'd be a pain in the. Oh my gosh.
Well, I always had I haven't got one. I have got a generator, but it always occurred to me that you could just have a small generator, and all you need enough is, for me, with a gas heating system, is there enough for the fan and for the refrigerator freezer. That's it. I don't need anything else.
We used to have an old dairy farm. We bought an old dairy farm. We had an old farmhouse there, and I had actually cut the line because we lost power all the time. And I actually cut the line to the furnace, and then added a couple of outlets that were in the house that were upstairs because that furnace was in the basement. But I could actually unplug the furnace and plug it into the generator, and it worked great.
Yeah, I don't see why it wouldn't. I mean, it's all it needs is power for the fan and to the controls, obviously.
Yeah, a couple outlets for refrigerator and some lights.
Yeah, I even figured that in a pinch, I could run cable from the car and get some 12-volt lights, string them through the house.
Yeah, I'm thinking about getting an electrician to come out and see how much it costs to put I know there's those switcheroo things you can put on your fuse box where you can plug in a generator like that.
Yeah, well, you were there when you were talking about putting it in backwards, right? Putting it, back feeding the whole system.
Oh yeah, but like you said, you get someone killed. The poor lineman would be out there working on it and get zapped by your generator.
Yeah, I'm laughing, but it's not funny because I've seen some pretty dumb things when I worked as an electrician, fixing other people's. I'll just call them real. I don't know what to call them. Some people don't realize the implications of what they're doing, so they make big mistakes.
Oh yeah. Well, we bought this one house, and it was, oh my gosh, nothing was built right. And somebody come knocking up on my door and said, I built this house. And I was like, oh my God, there's that cockeyed son of a gun.
No, he's actually, I haven't thought about this term in a while. Did you ever hear the word when somebody says, he's a jackleg mechanic?
Oh man, yeah, that was this guy. It describes him to a T.
But just the image I get of that is he's a jackleg electrician or a jackleg. Just fill in the blank.
Yeah, when I was looking in the kitchen, when I was looking in the living room, and boy, oh boy.
Yeah. Anything else from that? I'm having too good a time, Danny. What? Anything else?
Nah, thanks for doing that, Paul. KQ4 on my back next roll.
Yeah, that's Danny in Hendersonville. Kilo, Quebec 4, Oscar, Mike, Indy. Who else is north? Did we run out of north and Eric's not there?
K4VW.
KD4BUW. You doing well up there, Carlin?
Ah, yeah, just sitting here listening to the net.
You had power the whole time?
I lost it Saturday morning there for about 4 or 5 hours, and then it came back on about 11:45. Been on ever since.
They only do that to you to make you feel better about when the power's back on. You feel, oh yeah, this is great.
Yeah, but there were some neighbors up here that I think just got theirs turned back on at night.
Yeah, that's. I really should rethink what I'm doing here, because if I lost power for that long, I would have to take me and the wife and at least the 6 dogs. I think the cats can survive in the house, but I can take those 6 dogs and I got to go somewhere, and I don't know where I'd go.
Yeah, I just wish I had some firewood up here. If I'd had some more firewood, I'd be set. I ain't had the ability to cut any firewood. The chainsaw's locked up tighter than a drum out there. You can't even turn it over. And I don't know.
Yeah, that was the problem when using the chainsaw. It's a nice chainsaw. It hasn't been used a lot, but even in the cold weather, and I had it out in the shed, so starting it up when I was clearing all the debris out of my yard, just firing it up was a stretch of fun, pulling on that cord.
Yeah, it's a still what it is. Like I said, you just grab that handle down there and try to give a pull, and you're gonna leave the handle behind, and your finger's gonna be sore. You yank so hard, and the handle come out. The little handle on the rope come out of your hand. I mean, it is like somebody welded the doggone drive shaft.
Oh yeah, I'm with you. Well, I'm glad you survived, doing fine. Didn't lose it for too long. I really do feel bad for the people that don't have power yet. Or didn't have power for several days, because that can create. Well, we've had, I think, what did it say? 9 people died here in Middle Tennessee, or is it all the state maybe during the storm?
I forgot. I think it was 9 in Davidson County, I think. Well, I don't know. It might have been across state. But it was a couple down there in Nashville, Davidson County. So, I don't know. Anyhow, it's getting better. It's going to get better next week, so that's a good thing. It's going to be up, I think, in the 40s, I think, Monday afternoon, 41 or something, maybe. And one of the TV stations showing 50 degrees on Friday.
Oh, cool. That means all of the ice on those bushes that are in the shade are going to thaw, and I can finally drag them out of there.
Oh, yeah. Well, some of these trees up here, they look just like they did when they fell. Hardly any of the ice has come off of them. And, that elm tree back there in the back got all them limbs laying around it. Across the road, guy's got a bunch of those, what they call them trees, are real bad about busting up.
Well, I don't know. There's a bunch of them, because they were busted up on my maple.
Can't think of the name of the daggone thing. They're real bad about busting. He's got one over there. It looks like somebody got on top of the tree and took a knife in the shape of a plus and just pushed right down on top of the tree. It's split in 4 different directions.
Oh boy, what a mess! Yeah, I know what you're saying. Well, the problem I have is I have three maples in the front yard, and all of those had damage. And then I had the huge maple in the backyard that had damage, and then the oak tree in the back had some damage. And I've still got some other bushes and decorative trees with damage I got to deal with, but not as big a problem as I had with the maples. Those maples are horrible.
Bradford Pear. That's it. Over there, next door to me over here, across my neighbor that's next door to me, there's 2 trees over there that actually pulled up out of the ground, out of the roots. You can see the whole tree just fell, and the roots are sticking up on the bottom down there.
Wow. I heard somebody else in there. Who was that? Who yelled out about something? Did anybody hear that?
Me, over here in Cotton Town.
Oh, hold on a second, Ray. I got to get rid of Carlin. I was talking to him first. Hold on one second. Carlin, you got anything else for us tonight?
Everybody stay warm. Talk to y'all everywhere else we're going tonight. So wherever that is, you might want to update us. I can't remember if we're going. I think we're going to 70. I don't know. Straight me out. Might just stay right here and go to sideband. Anyway, I'll turn it back over to you. Katie 4VW.
No, next is 144-240. 144-240 upper sideband. I hear you, Ray. What's up?
I didn't know you was having a net.
Every Wednesday and Saturday night for only about, this is our 12th year, Ray.
That's right. Tonight's Saturday night, ain't it?
Yeah, yes, it is. You're having the same problem I do. I have to look at the calendar to see what day it is.
That's all, folks.
Anyway, how you do? You holding up there? You kept your power on?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I got all kind of fire. Got heat, got power, got everything. But no internet. They cut it off. They said they didn't like me putting another router in, so they just cut it off.
They cut off the router for what now?
I put in another router. They said mine wasn't close enough to their router to me to pick it up. So I went and got me one and put it in to run it on that one. And they got mad when they found it out and cut your internet off where we can't have it because I hooked another router up. But that was just their deal.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's interesting. So everything else fared pretty well for you for power, though?
Yeah, we didn't have none for about 3 days. We fared. That 6,500 watt generator and that 3,000 watt generator, we've done a good job.
Yeah. Ray, forgive me, but the first 2 letters of your call, is it KJ4 GMR?
KJ4 GMR and KJ4 HNV.
Yeah, I was pretty sure it was. I've been talking to you a long time, and at least on 2 meters, and I was making sure I had it right. My memory served me correctly, though. But the Juliet. But I heard your wife doing all right. I heard you had to take her to the doctor.
And she reached over and picked up a clothes basket, pulled her back out of place. Don't know what it is. Anyway, they playing that game, money game.
Yeah, none of that's fun. Getting old isn't for weak people, is it?
Works up there at Macy's. She picks up stuff all the time. You know, just the way I guess she picked it up.
Yeah, no, I understand. I've had issues with my back as well, so I appreciate it. That's not the right way to put it. I know what she's going through.
Oh, I do too. My brother's got it now. He reached over and picked something up. I don't remember what he said it was. He's down with it too.
Yeah, a lot of that. I know my father. I remember having my father having those issues when he was in his 60s and 70s, and I didn't understand it at the time, but now I do.
Yeah, well, it is what it is. We'll just move on. I'll get back and be quiet and let you go back at it.
Very good. For a fresh memory, it's your ex-wife's name is. Hold on, let me get it straight in my mind. Darn, I can't think what it is. It's a nice short name too.
Zoe, Z-O-E.
Ah, there you go. How could I forget Zoe? I was thinking it was Noe, and I said that doesn't make any sense. Appreciate that. That was Zoe and Ray. KJ4GMR, and it's KJ4HNV in Cotton Town. Who else is north? No audio.
KO4 ULT.
KO4. What are the last three on that? I forgot.
ULT, Rick over in Hartsville.
Ah, ULT, sure. I was hoping to see you this morning.
Yes, sir. Couldn't make it work. So, anyway, I hope Richard made it.
He did make it. He did. And I think everybody needs to be praying for Richard because he's having that surgery on Wednesday.
Yeah, he's been through a bunch. And, yeah, we're hoping that everything goes good for him. So, but, yeah, sure wish I could have been there. But, anyway, I just had a heart thing done in December myself, and I was in there for about a week. So, know what he's going through. So, anyway, Paul, we're going to get out of the way and let you get some more. I know your time's precious. So, get out of your way. Appreciate you being there. And thank you for all you do. KO4ULT, back to net.
Yep, thanks for the kind words, Rick. I'm compelled to do this stuff. I have to. It's just, I don't know why. I just, I don't do it because, I don't know. I just do it because I enjoy it. If I didn't enjoy it, I wouldn't do it. I guess I'm pretty much a public person in that regard. But that was Rick. He's in every time I try to think of that place's name, it like drops out of my brain. KO4ULT, Hartsville. There you go. I did remember it. Hartsville. I've been there a few times too. It's a nice little town, and it's growing like a weed. Last time I was up there. Who else is north?
Recheck.
Hey, go ahead, Ray.
Oh, I meant to tell you too. 6th, me and my wife have been married 50 years. Now you can go back at it.
Oh, that's awesome. 50 years on February the 6th. That's great. Man, that's a long time. I'm working on, I'd have to look at my number. If you add my 3 wives' marriages together, I think it's 50, but that doesn't count. No, yeah, give my best to Zoe on that for putting up with you for 50 years. I'm not sure. He's getting his rifle ready or he's laughing. That was Ray. He was saying to me, married. If you couldn't hear him, he was saying that he and Zoe on the 6th will have been married 50 years, which is cool. Anybody else north?
KB9RKK.
Hey, good to see you this morning, Mr. Frank.
Yeah, it's good to be there. I just actually didn't go last time because I didn't think anybody was going to be there, but you were there.
Oh yeah. Again, it's just that I feel compelled to go. You know, I mean, it's I hate to let anybody down. I mean, I'll show up if somebody's going to show up. I want to be there.
Well, I'll rephrase that. I was surprised that they showed up to open the place up.
Oh yeah, last Saturday was that was the worst.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah, no, I just we were talking about the wire antennas. I did actually, when I got home, I actually did get mine put back up after I had to spend about an hour or so cleaning the deck so that it would be sort of safe to go down, because I'm on a hill, so it's like up. It's up like up. It's almost like the second floor, going down into the yard, and it was really bad because I got one of them. I don't know if it makes it worse. It's one of them composite decks, and it was just glass.
Oh wow, yeah, it's really I still have big chunks of ice out of my driveway. It's unbelievable how it stayed so cold for this long. I don't remember it ever being like this, at least in the 14 years I've been here.
Yeah, this is probably because of the ice, but mine was pretty much gone the day after most of it, and then it froze again overnight. But I do get quite a bit of sun on the driveway, so and 50 pounds of salt I put down helped.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it did. Hey, by the way, not to you, Frank, but I just want to make sure it is. I'd say it's important. We have nets, lots of nets, twice a week, and we usually only get over 2 or 3 people who actually. I know there's 56 people. Like the last 3 nets was in the 50s or 60s. See it, but there's only check off the like button. It doesn't mean they don't like it. The more it gets checked, though, the more visibility that this site gets. Not that I'm looking for visibility; it's only for the simplex aspect of it. Putting down the likes just increases the visibility for YouTube. Anyway, everything else went well for you today, Frank?
Nothing. Got nothing else, and other than I put redid the whole station, of course. I pulled everything out and I'll tell you what the hard part was, not to clean it up and putting it back. It's like figuring out how to wire it back up again.
It's the only reason I don't do it.
Yeah. Well, I got the antenna back up, and I hooked it up, and the first thing I hear was on 40 meters, some guy saying how he wrecked his whole room is all wrecked, and he's got to redo everything, and I'm like, is he looking at me? It was just 2 guys talking, so I said, all right, good idea, let me tackle it, and I got done just before dinner, and then as soon as we got done with that, I was able to come up here and do the net, so I'll turn it back over to KB9RKK.
Very good. That was Frank, or is Frank. It's Kilo Bravo 9, just 1 kilo in it. Kilo Bravo 9, Romeo Kilo, so it's he's got 3 Ks in it. Just glad they're not together. And he is in northwest Mount Juliet, near the Wilson-Davidson County line. Who else is north? Or west?
KO4 OTB.
Hello, Joel. Man, your area just really was struggling more so than others, I'm telling you.
Oh yeah, man. It's been interesting out here, man. No, I was very fortunate. I can't believe our power was out just that short amount of time, which I was ready for weeks if I needed, because I've been in this situation out here before. In '94, we were out for 3.5 weeks, so generators, 30 gallons of gas, about 150 gallons of propane, and about 3 weeks worth of food I had in the house, so I was ready.
Wow, what a mess that was.
Oh yeah, I was not ready in '94. We had no warning. We didn't know this was coming. It was a living nightmare. It was just bad, and we made it through it. But ever since then, that's on the back of your mind. It's been 32 years already, which is hard to believe, but you don't forget something like that.
No, that raises an interesting question, because, and I'm just going to relate it to my own personal experience. But when I grew up, and I spent 19 years in Niagara Falls, there on the Canadian border, and we had some, normal winter weather for the north, just regular, and it was freezes, and it was, there was ice storms at some point, but nothing. I don't remember anything really dramatic. When you're a kid, you don't really care. But what was interesting about it is that here it was problematic because there's so many trees here in Middle Tennessee. I think that's half the problem. And I'm pretty sure NES is going to be thinking more about, attending to the tree problem throughout their service district.
And that was the thing. It's been on my mind since this hit. And in '94, after this happened, they came through there for the next 2 or 3 years, clearing 20 to 30 feet away from all the power lines and all that stuff after that. And it kept it like that for a long time. Well, years go by, decades pass, and they forget about that storm. And here we are again, and it happens again. he still lives in the same house as he did, well, same property. He's in a different house. It's just across the way, but same spot. His power just came on about 2 hours ago, but he was prepared. He had a generator. He had gas. He knew it was coming. He actually had to go buy a second generator because his other generator had ran so long that it was starting to leak oil from the oil crate casing. So he had to go to Lowe's and get another one, which he's got four-wheel drives. He can get out. You know, he's pretty self-sufficient, kind of like all of us are out here. You just have to be. And the thing is, if you haven't lived here, 20, 30 years, you wouldn't know this. But Tennessee's a pretty wild environment, as you know. Between tornadoes and ice storms and just crazy weather we have here. Right here, dead smack in the middle of the, country right here, right mid-Atlantic type area, where, cold fronts come through, hot and cold meet all the time right here. So you never know what you're going to get. And people, man, they need to be prepared because nobody's going to come save you in a hurry in these types of situations.
Well, I got to tell you, Joel, I'll be 77 this year. And 14 years ago I moved here, and prior to that 14 years in 2012, I had never personally witnessed a tornado or been near a tornado. I'd never witnessed derecho winds or heard of them anywhere I lived. And I come here and I get tornadoes and the derecho winds. I couldn't believe it. And these freezing temperatures, it's unbelievable.
No, and I'm so sick of, and I'm not putting you in this, but I see so many people, raising Cain at the NES, and it's like, dude, you could not predicted 444 poles to snap just like that, and tons of trees. And here's another thing you have here. You got a lot of Karens out there that don't want their trees trimmed because they like the pretty flowers and all that nonsense. And then you also have that situation, and now they're in dire straits because they don't know what to do because they're trapped in their homes and they have no electricity and it's freezing cold outside. Well, you would have power and all that stuff right now if you got those trees knocked back a little bit.
Well, we talked about that a little bit earlier, but you can't. People, I understand that people are upset. There's no question about it. It's upsetting when your family doesn't have power. You don't know when it's come back on. But yelling and screaming and bitching about NES or any of the utilities or anybody in the utility business, it's a waste of time. Because if I would be inclined, if I was a utility and somebody was giving me a hard time, and I go, what day did you say you wanted your power turned down? Let me think about this.
Exactly. They want to sit there and moan about something that's kind of out of their control. And anybody that's been in an alignment situation, especially when there's ice caked on every single trim that needs to be moved before you can actually even do your job, has no earthly idea what the hell they're even talking about. I was listening to 99.7 Super Talk Radio like I do all the time, and I was listening to the host on the show, and I couldn't even listen to the show anymore because I heard how they were talking about it. And I was sitting there thinking, you guys have no idea. I understand really what they were really mad about. They wanted answers, and I get it. Everybody wants answers. But if you don't have an answer, we don't know. I mean, it takes so much time, especially when the weather gets so much more colder, and it just there's so much in the way. They have no idea what they're even talking about. It's like I work for a living, and I know what it's like when something catastrophic happens, and I've been in their situation. I was a mainline guy for a long time, and I'm going to tell you right now, they need to shut the hell up. Those guys are out there working 16, 18-hour shifts in the freezing cold, and I guarantee you not one of those people out there raising all this hell would have anything to do with, wouldn't even know where to start in this situation.
Oh, no. Well, if you haven't worked in that environment, and I've never worked on line crews, but I like that kind of stuff, but working outside doing electrical work and other work that I've done in my career, if you haven't done it, you have no idea what a pain in the ass it is to go to work every day in those kind of conditions.
Oh, no. It's brutal, man. I climbed telephone poles for years, and I'm telling you right now, and I didn't have to deal with anything close to what they're dealing with right now. I remember going out in the middle of the night and having to do storm damage, and, that was, sketchy enough. But, man, when there's ice involved and really extreme cold temperatures, too, man, it changes the whole element.
Well, even in the best of times, and that's one of the issues these people forget, even the best of times, and if you're working 16-hour days, your ability to completely control yourself all those 16 hours every day, it becomes more of a safety concern for everybody because you can't react the same way in 16-hour days. There's always more injuries. There's always more accidents. I'd say always. It's prone to more accidents. I'll put it that way. And so it's rough. I mean, these guys are sacrificing a lot because they're not home 16 hours every day. They're away from their family.
Absolutely, and they don't even know if they're going to go home to their family, and that's the thing, man. People, they're not putting that in perspective. All they want is their electricity. And I get it, man. It's cold out, and I'm not trying to, down these people. I understand it's extremely frustrating. I've been there many a times. I was there last week, but luckily mine was back on between I think 14 and 16 hours. But like I say, I got a generator. It didn't faze me that much. It was like nothing happened. I got a monster generator, so it runs everything I own. It's like nothing even happens. But at the same time, you've got to be prepared, and that's what I'm getting at, man. You just got to know, you got to prepare. Like you say, when the good times are good, you got to go out and just buy some gas. Why? It's cheap. Man, you find a generator on sale. That's what I did. I got mine for $900. It's 12,500 watts. It's more than enough. And I mean, and I bought this stuff over time. It wasn't something I went out and purchased immediately because, now when you go out and try to buy something, just the basic essentials are stupid high, and it's just unaffordable for a lot of people, and I get that too. But you just got to be ready, man, and that's the main thing. People just got to, use their brain.
Well, one of the things about getting ready is some people, let's think about some people. Let's say you have to have two older retired people that don't have the resources and they have to go, okay, who's home? And you have to plan in the future. Whose home can we go live in the event of a disaster? I mean, it's really that, or what shelter? I mean, what does the county have? What does the city have? You have to look at it. And not making plans is, at that point, it's all on you.
Absolutely. And living here, man, a lot of times, especially where I live, and a lot of our people I know that lived out here, we're used to that because we've lived like that all our lives. And it's a scary thought. And if you've been in that situation for weeks at a time, not knowing where your next meal is going to come or how you're going to warm up or anything. I mean, I carry a little buddy heater with me that I bought for $19 in the middle of summer. And that thing will run for 11 hours on 2 tanks of 1-pound propane tanks. And I mean, I keep those around, and I've also got about 3 or 4 20-pound tanks that I can refill the little ones with, and I've also got an adapter where I can hook it up, and I can run for 96 hours if I need to. So, yeah, I mean, you got to use your head, it's little things like that can go such a long way. I mean, for $119, I can stay warm for 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think somebody else is trying to break in here, and you're either here. I think they're not hearing you. So I'll let you go, Joel. That's KO4OTV, and at least we cleared the air on that. People got to be prepared. So is there somebody else trying to check in?
Yeah. Not my job to do this, but it's just a reminder. Under 18 USC Section 1464, I really want you to read it. Because between the time 6 a.m. and 11 p.m., swearing or profanity is prohibited. KR4IDJ out.
Yeah, a couple of things. We're pretty much familiar with the rules here, Echo, and we certainly don't need to be reminded by anyone for that matter. Doesn't matter whether young or old. But I'm not even sure what you call them profanity. But anyway. Also, you shouldn't be interrupting when somebody else is talking. The first thing you do is the frequency in use. But you can, if you just listen, you don't, since you have a limited listening ability for somebody who's talking from Joelton, which in your point, it's about 35 miles from you. You're never going to hear those stations. So it's just better to stay silent and send out a message to the group. Anyway, anybody else north or west?
KG4 LV.
Hey, thanks for hanging in there. Man, I'm sorry I didn't make the breakfast this morning. We had a crowd.
I got up and the temperature said 6, and it's like, okay, I ain't going.
Is that right? It really was 6 over there?
It was 6 at my house.
Holy man, what are you sitting in a bowl down there at the bottom of the refrigerator?
I don't know, but I just couldn't get up the nerve to go out and start my truck.
I thought your springs froze up or something.
Oh, they're going to creak even on a good day.
Yeah, very good. Well, no, you would have enjoyed it. We had a good crowd, and it was a lot of fun. And we did. The police were too busy to come over and break up the fights.
I didn't have to bail anybody out, huh?
No, it was all good. Everything good with you?
Yeah, I'm fine. I got plenty of food, and I'm hunkered down.
Yeah, as with everybody. Wes told me earlier today he's got cabin fever.
Yeah, I remember that.
store that Joel was talking about, and yeah, I got a buddy heater here. Just you never know what kind of weather we're going to have.
No, it's just like you have to be prepared. I mean, even it's hard to prepare, for instance, for a tornado, but it isn't hard to prepare for having an alternative place to live, and to have enough cash in some reserve location so you have the ability to do something when there's an emergency. And even poor people can do that because there are shelters, there are friends, hopefully. You know what I'm saying? There's all kinds of things people can do. I use the example, I'm sure you've heard me say it. A hurricane whipped through South Florida one time, and it came across the state from the west coast of Florida over toward Lauderdale, tore up Fort Lauderdale pretty good. And here's thousands of people getting in line for water and sandwiches. I'm going, you guys have been here before, down this road, and you don't even have the brains to store water.
Yeah, it's amazing how some people don't use their brains. Anyway, I'll get off and let somebody else check in, and I'll see you on the sideband. Thanks for doing the net, Paul. KG4ILD.
Yeah, this has been an aggressive net tonight. Airing of grievances. Who else is West?
And for DJT.
Hey, Mr. Power Man, how you doing over there?
I'm doing great, brother. God bless Dixon Electric. I'll tell you what, I was out for a total of 3.5 hours. I was last off and the first back on.
Oh, well, that's great, because there's some people, they're just in a bad location, and that's why I feel fortunate here in Mount Juliet, because we had very little power problems, and it's really a thrill. My wife asked me why. I said, I really don't know. We're all connected to TVA. It's just that Nashville is a much bigger, more concentrated service area.
Yeah, absolutely. I was watching the outage map, and everywhere around me, out. My neighbors, like a quarter mile down the road, out. And the circle around me just kept getting smaller and smaller, and finally it gave up the ghost. But it was 3.5 hours, and I was the first one back on, and I watched that circle slowly expand out. I must be an important part of the grid. I don't know what's going on here, but other than that, brother, I'm just hanging loose and enjoying life.
Yeah, we've had excellent conditions tonight. Your signal is very good to me tonight.
Yeah, they must have moved that truck or something, or maybe some trees fell down between us. But yeah, yours is really good tonight, too.
I think that's what it is, man. The trees all fell down. Man, but there was a lot. I could not believe it. Even driving through the Walmart Lowe's parking lot here in Mount Juliet, almost every tree, the decorative trees that are in the medians, etc., almost every one, at least 50% of them were damaged beyond repair. And it's just amazing how many trees. It's sad to see all those trees messed up, but it just means buying more trees and putting them in. So anyway, that was Don, November 4, Delta Juliet Tango, and he's in Bon Aqua. Limited power outage. Who else is West?
AC4TNQ.
Hey, Charles, we talked earlier. You're sounding good from over there tonight. Everybody sounds great. Almost everybody, anyway.
Yeah, those that I can hear sound good. So it's going around. So good signal from where was he? Dixon somewhere.
You mean, I think it's Dixon County, yeah. He's in Bon Aqua.
Yeah, good signal. Yeah, he was good signal here. And, we're talking about the trees being down. Joel's right about people, not having their trees cut down. I moved here in 91, and by 95, I had all the large trees in my yard removed. So that's a plus. It keeps everything from getting damaged.
Yeah, your sewer's included.
Yeah, I got a neighbor in behind me back here where I had the damage a couple of years ago from that big wind that come through, and he has a huge hackberry tree in the backyard. Of course, it come down, hit my fence, hit my garage, hit my vertical antenna, kind of tore up my dipoles and my loop, and and I was hoping that they would have that big old thing cut down, but nope, they just kind of trimmed it up a little bit, and they still a big old limb. It could swing my way, so I'm always leery of that one.
Yep, I'm with you. It's awful. Yeah, I should have. I was going to do something about that tree, but I was putting it off, and it didn't have any serious damage. I mean, just busted up a little bit of my vinyl fence, but no big deal. It's amazing how we really do need to be proactive about that kind of stuff.
Well, especially if it's near the power lines, because that affects everybody.
So not just you, you know, it affects everybody, because if a tree limb falls and takes down the line and a pole, well, that affects a lot of people.
Well, I wish I could say I should have done something, but during those derecho winds, I had that, what is it, tulip poplar, I think it's called. The whole tree uprooted and fell on the power lines, wiped out my whole neighborhood.
Yeah, well, stuff like that, you can't hardly plan on that, but, you know, especially when, you know, if you've seen it have damage before, you know it's going to happen again.
Yeah, well, it's gone, and I didn't replace it.
Yeah, that sounds like a big old tree, but yeah, I've had some huge trees in my yard, and of course another thing, I think all these tall and skinnies that they've built in my neighborhood, I think that's helped a lot, because they've upgraded my grid, so I think that's helped a lot in my case.
Yeah, that tulip poplar was approximately, I'm going to not make it sound too big, approximately 10 feet in circumference. I got some pictures of logs to prove it. It was something. And fortunately, I got somebody to come out and get it off the limbs and get it back up to speed. And by about noon, a utility, and they brought the power back up. It was great.
Yeah, I know. When we had these trims in my backyard trimmed, luckily I had two huge hackberries in the front. NES took them down for me. It didn't cost me a thing, but in the back I had 5 cut down. One was my neighbor's. It was kind of on the fence line, and I cut it too. And I think we paid like $1,600 back in, it was before '95, to have all those cut down. And then now it would cost you $1,500 just to cut one.
Oh yeah. I expect to drop some money, not big money, but to get that maple tree dealt with. But anyway, let me move on there, Charles. Anything else for the net?
That's it. Hope everybody keeps their power and stays warm. Y'all have a good evening. KC4 to you.
Yeah, glad you're there. That's Charles, Kilo Charlie 4 Tango, November, Quebec, and he's in West Nashville. Who else is out there from West or anywhere?
Comment. Tango Uniform Bravo.
Give me that call again, Hayden. I didn't write it down.
Kilo Quebec 4 Tango Uniform Bravo.
Yeah, very good. You can't talk. It's funny. You really can't talk fast because I can't think that fast. You doing all right? Good to see you at the breakfast this morning.
Yep, I had a good time. I had some pretty good food there.
Oh, yeah, lots of food. That's the beauty of the Golden Corral. Your brother enjoyed it, too. He seemed to be having a good time.
Yeah, I don't think he ate that much. He mainly just had, like, cinnamon rolls and stuff. But I had a good bit. I enjoyed the buffet.
Oh, yeah, always. In fact, it's kind of a bad thing because when you get to be older, you shouldn't eat a lot. I don't mean you're older, me older. Well, very good. Anything else for the net, Hayden?
Nope, that's about it. This is Kilo Quebec 4 Tango Uniform Bravo, back to net.
Very good. That's Kilo Quebec 4 Tango Uniform Bravo, and it's Hayden. He's in Hendersonville. I assume your dad's there too. I guess not. Anybody else up from the north? Please come down.
November 8, November Hotel Tango.
I figured you had to be there. How you doing, Hayes?
Yeah, most of the time when Hayden checks in, I'm here also.
Well, I would imagine so. I mean, I don't think you leave him home alone very often.
Yeah, he's old enough to hold down the fort. Now and then I might have somewhere to go, but usually he's here. But yeah, it was nice coming out to the breakfast again and everything. I always enjoy the company and the food and everything. We'll be back again one of these days.
Oh yeah, it's always good. It's always good. A lot of fun. It's it's what's interesting is I've read recently, and I knew it. You can recognize it, but they used to be big when I was young. That all of these different fraternal organizations, and I don't pretend to give the list, but you know what I'm talking about. Everything from Lions Club to the Shriners to the Masons. It was the same group, and the International Order of Old Bastards. No, that's not the right one. There was a group called that. Odd Fellows. That's it. International Order of Odd Fellows, and the Moose Lodge, and there's other ones too. I forget. But you know what I'm saying? There's not too many of those left.
Yeah, I saw one other group one time, and I knew a guy when I was there with the ham radio breakfast. I saw another group, and there was a guy I knew from the VA when I worked there, and I chatted him
Oh yeah, it was a couple of times. We had once it was closed. They had lost power or something. We had to go somewhere else. And it was another. We used to go over to, oh gosh, a couple of places. I couldn't even think of all their names now. But we decided we just stay in one place and leave it there. Anyway, anything else for the net haze?
No, I don't think so. I could complain, but who'd listen? It's going to get cold tonight, everything. But everybody stay warm. K4PEW N8NHT. Back to net.
Very good. That's Hayes, November 8, November Hotel Tango. And he's in Andersonville. And it was good to see him this morning at the breakfast. Anybody else out there? Nobody. Well, we're going to be calling then for all dilly-dalliers, spuddlers, landlubbers, sandbaggers, lollygaggers, lurkers, skulkers, slackers, lackeys, toadies, lackards, repeater good-chunkers, shape-shifting lizard people, moon landing deniers, and those that support the idea they did land on the moon a long time ago. Moon occupied by aliens, both foreign and really foreign, the real aliens on the backside of the moon or inside the moon. Also, moon flat earthers, flat earth deniers, scanner listeners, SDR donglers, preppers, end time survivalists, and the Bigfoot Society of Believers. Anybody else? I'm going to have to text Scott. He always comes in when he's around, and I can't believe he's not around because I can't believe he's off work this long. I'm going to see if everything's all right. I'm going to text him in a little bit. And nobody else checking in? Well, we had a big night. It was 26 of us in there, and I appreciate everybody being there, and I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to look at the front end of the net where we had that the new little meme I put up there, which was kind of went with the weather. We're going to move right over to 144-240, unless I hear somebody complain. All righty, we're moving to 144-240. We'll see you there. It's upper side, man. This is Kilo 4 Papa Echo Whiskey, Mount Juliet Simplex Radio, and on 144-240, looking for people from the south. Nobody from the south, we'll go to the east.
KM4YRF.
Very good. We hear Michael in there, KM4YRF. Was there somebody else east?
No, south, KE4TYJ. Didn't even let me get to the microphone.
Oh, you're supposed to be standing there prepared like a true Marine, man, ready to fire.
I was ready to fire. I was just waiting for the attack. He just let loose a barrage and took off.
Well, very good. You sound good up there, though. And which antenna are you using for the 144-240?
I'm using the same one I use on the 415, my 10-element beam. I bought a new beam. I bought a M-square 2M7X is what I bought. Still sitting in a box, but that's going to get mounted horizontally.
Oh, yeah. No, I have one of those M-squared 10-element beams.
Now, this is a 7-element beam.
Oh, okay. Okay, very good. Yeah, and that's it's got a pretty good gain on it, too, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. The next step up was a 9, but what they wanted, the money-wise, compared to what I was going to get in the game, was, I mean, it wasn't worth it. You know, the 7X is, you know, according to what M-Square said, that computer generated to do better than antennas bigger and longer. It's already 9 foot long.
Yeah, that M-squared I have, the 10-element, is 14 feet long.
I don't doubt it a bit. It's a great antenna. I can't wait for the weather to break and me actually be able to put it together and put it up.
Well, the issue to me is you could spend 3 times as much and conceivably talk long, far distances if you had the elevation, which you do. But I don't know if that's, you know, if that's not your game, it doesn't really matter. You know, if you get a 20 dBi gain, that's good enough.
Yeah, I like you know, 2-meter sideband, and the 10-element I got up there now is all right. I mean, it's okay, but I wanted a little bit better, and I had the means, so why not? I pulled the trigger and got it. So I should be very happy with it.
Sounds good. And you do sound good there, Jimmy. That was KE4TYJ in Woodbury. Who else is south? I'm hearing something out there, but I don't think it's people.
KD4 John.
Oh, okay, but KD4 GON. Yeah, we were still calling south, but that's all right, Danny. Good, you got a good signal. That's Kilo Delta 40 Golf Oscar November. South or east? Let me finish that up. No more south of the Reeds. Good. We got Danny, KD4GON, and he's in station camp. And north. Who else is north? KD4VUW. It's Carlin in Bethpage, Angeltown area. Good signal. Who else is north?
WB0NOO.
WB0NOO. Very good. That's Mark here up the north, up by the river. Who was the other station I just heard?
Kilo Quebec 4 Tango Uniform Bravo.
Very good. We got Kilo Quebec 4 Tango Uniform Bravo. That's Hayden in Hendersonville. Who else?
November 8, November Hotel Tango.
Yeah, I'm guessing you're a little bit off frequency because both you and your son sound like Donald Duck.
Do we? Hold on a minute. Does that matter? Does that sound better?
No, it's getting higher.
How about that? Does that sound better?
It's getting better. You need to go a little bit more.
Okay, what about that? How's that sound?
That sounds pretty reasonable.
All right, I'll remember that one.
All right, very good. That's Hayes, November 8, November Hotel Tango. It wasn't Donald Duck after all. Who else is north?
Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor Echo.
All right, I heard Greg in there first. Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor Echo in Hendersonville. Who else? Was that Daniel in there?
Yeah, KQ4OMI.
Very good. Both sound very good tonight. KQ4OMI. I wish conditions were always this good because really it's been an astounding night for conditions. I'm assuming it's the cold weather, but I'm not sure. It has to be another reason besides cold. Anyway, who else is, and I'm not going to guess why. Just dense air. That's what it is, dense air. Who else is north? All right, west.
KG4LV.
Very good. We got Jack in there, KG4ILV, in the coldest place in Davidson County. It's KG4ILV. Who else is west?
November 4, Delta Julia Tango.
Yeah, very good. You almost sound as good as Jack is, and he's one third the distance you are.
Oh, I appreciate it.
Yeah, it sounds good. That's November 4 Delta Juliet Tango, and he's in Bon Aqua. Who else is west? West or anywhere, please come now. All righty, I think we did the trick there. We had a monstrous 10, 11, 12 in there today. That's more than normal, as I remember. We're going to move over to 6 meters now, and let's hope there's some activity there, but I don't have high hopes. We've been doing very poorly on 6 meters recently. But anyway, 6 meters, 50.135. 50.135. Upper sideband, we'll see you there. K4PW, net control for Mount Juliet, Simplex Radio Net on 50.135. Looking for check-ins. Please come now.
KM4YRF.
All right, I got Michael, KM4YRF, and I got Kilo Quebec 4 Oscar Mike India, or Daniel in Hendersonville. Who else? Anybody else, any place, anywhere?
Kilo Oscar 4, Oscar Tango Victor.
All right, we got Joel up in west of Ashland City, KO4OTV. There was another station in there, too. Very good. You sound pretty good, Danny. KD4 GON. Get my letters straight. I'm writing here. That's Danny in Station Camp. Who else? Is there anybody else up north? Is there any more? Nowhere north, south, east, or west? Okay, we're calling Alabama, Kentucky, Arkansas, and the Carolinas. All right, that's all we got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow. It's a banner night with 5 on 6 meters. That's why I say I'm not sure we want to do 6 meters. It's all right, but maybe we'll just do it. Add a good one in there. All right, I think that about wraps it up for us. We're going to go over to 223.415, and we'll call it a night from there. And I appreciate everybody being here. We had a big night, really, with, like I said, with 26 people, on 2 meters, and a good night for digital modes as well. So have a good night. Appreciate everybody being there. K4PW. All right, it is is K4PEW. Hold before we take check-ins, just talk among yourselves for a second. I don't want to turn this off, but I want to leave the hold on. There we go. Hang on.